Chief Financial Officer Alan Weisselberg with tax-related crimes. This, according to a new story in the Wall Street Journal.
So this would mark the first criminal charges against former President Trump's company since prosecutors began their investigation into the organization 3 years ago. Karis Cannell joins us with the details. Help us explain what's expected here. And also, most times it's civil charges against a company. Why is this criminal?
Sure, Poppy and Jim. So the Wall Street Journal is reporting that these criminal charges that we've been talking about for weeks against the Trump Organization and its chief financial officer, Alan Weisselberg, are expected to come tomorrow. There will be an arraignment tomorrow for Alan Weisselberg and actually for the company as well. And this investigation has focused on whether the company and executives, including Weisselberg, paid taxes on certain compensation and benefits they've received. That includes school tuition, apartments, that they got rent-free, company cars, and we're learning also today bonuses. Now, this investigation is focusing at this point, it's really narrowed into these topics, but it is not over and it is still continuing and ongoing. Now, what we understand is that as part of the charges, which the Journal says could come tomorrow, the former president, Donald Trump, will not be charged as part of this case, nor will any members of his family. But a company can be charged for the actions of its executives. And it's possible that the DA's office will announce, charges that relate to a scheme to defraud. That's one way that they're able to charge companies as well if they see a pattern in practice of certain types of, in this case, potential charges of tax evasion. Now, the company can be charged. A lot of these cases are brought civilly, but they're able to charge a company if they don't meet a number of factors. The DA has its own handbook and memorandum that addresses this, but if a company doesn't cooperate, if it doesn't take remedial steps, those are all reasons why they can hold the company criminally liable for this. Now, as the former president's attorney has said, these charges are normally handled civilly. He's right. We often see cases like that, but we don't know the full scope of the allegations yet. So we'll have to evaluate that tomorrow. But he said in that case that if, the charges as he knew it to be came, they would be unprecedented and, as he said, outrageous. He said the company would enter a plea if not guilty.
Carrie, you reported earlier this morning that the DA was looking at cash payments, in effect. Just to explain to folks in layman's terms here, the idea is that cars were gifted, apartments, rent-free apartments were gifted, private school tuition gifted as a means to avoid paying taxes. Is that right?
That's right. And this could affect both the company and the individual because a company has a responsibility to report payments, any kind of payments to employees they're considered a form of compensation. They have to take out withholdings for that and pay taxes on that. The same for the individual. So the idea here would be that these gifts, these fringe benefits, were not reported to authorities and taxes were not paid on them. That seems to be the theory of the case.